Hey, ate ka ma? Rocky. Rocky. Go, ate ka ma?
Yeah, get an idea of what you're dealing with.
Okay.
It's a lot, huh?
It is. And it's like with everyone who comes in.
Yeah.
Ate ka ma? Rocky, no.
And it is typically you keep him tied here since he's like this. Is that what you guys do?
If not, he like runs up and like starts like jumping on you to lick you and like
Yeah,
he gets so excited it's like
yeah, it's
and
just
then,
too
like,
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this guy has had issues being hyper, pushy with people, lunging and barking at dogs, pulling on leash, just being a handful. And the owners have tried exercising and playing games and obedience training, using remote collars, all sorts of stuff. But if we don't actually understand the dog, how they think, how they feel as a species, as an individual dog, we're going to run into some problems. And so their problems are coming from the games, the toys, the way they love on the dog. It comes from all that exercise. It comes from the training of commands. I only tell this dog what I do not like and to come. Other than that, I don't say anything to him. And come, I don't even really have to do much of that because he wants to be with me. So he follows me naturally. Okay, so I don't need remote collars. I don't need that kind of stuff. I don't need to try to drain him. Those things are feeding into it. So what I mean by this is we see, okay, he has all this energy and he's jumping on people and being mouthy and barking and lunging at them and same with dogs. And we look at us, the human being, and think, okay, well, if I start working out and I say I start with running a mile, and I start there, do you think I'm going to become where I'm running less miles or more miles? Am I going to have less energy or more energy? Because what I've experienced is that you become more athletic. You can do more. You have more energy. And then the way that they do this is they try to play the games, wrestling, tug of war, throwing things, that kind of thing. And when we look at the roughhousing, the tug of war, the wrestling, and we even look at how they have to control him, physically pulling him back, moving him with the leash, trying to force him to go into a sit. He's being mouthy and they're just trying to push him down and off, no, okay? Tying him back. All just physical stuff. And the dog is learning to physically challenge people because that's the name of the game. When dogs are playing with each other, they're trying to figure out who's more dominant without actually fighting. They're testing their skills. Okay, they're figuring out who's who. And if we, the human being, put ourselves into this equation and start playing with them, what we're essentially doing is telling them that it is okay to challenge people. They might not become aggressive to people, but they will become assertive and dominant. So they might have no problem, say you open the back sliding door and they just push through your space. Or you come home and they jump up on you or other people. There's lots of other things, but we'll leave it there. And so I do not play games that teach dogs those kind of things. And if we're doing that, and then trying to tell them not to do it, oftentimes it doesn't work because the dog thinks that they can challenge you, and so that is what they do. And if we then see energy as happiness, well, we then feed into it like that because we try to get them happy. We get them excited. We try to get that tail moving, that tail way up high, and the energy going. Because one, we think we have to drain it, like we were talking about, and then we think that it's this love thing. But then when I hear the person telling me what they don't like, all it is about all this energy and pushiness and everything that they have been doing. That they thought, well, that's just a game, or that's just me trying to show love. But the dog can't think abstractly. They can't think creatively. It's not just a game. They don't have this idea of, oh, it's just for fun, it's just play. No. They're learning. And I would compare this to if we look at young kids and we have a bunch of kids playing tag. What are they trying to do? They're trying to figure out who's fastest, right? And oftentimes kids can get in arguments and fights because, oh, so-and-so's changing the rules. They said that this is a base and that's not a base. She's just mad that I was going to catch her. And no, I wasn't. All sorts of stuff, all right? They're trying to figure out who's who has the skills. And then say they play this game. And then later on, a kid gets hurt. Who do you think the kids are going to suggest run and go get help? It's the fastest kid, right? I was that kid until everybody hit puberty, and I hadn't hit that yet. And so everybody basically became faster than me. So I actually lowered in the hierarchy, and had to work my way back up into showing I have some skills. Okay? So we just need to understand the dog. And so I only tell him what I don't like. I dominate and discipline him. I do not use remote collars. I don't use prong collars. I'm not popping him with a leash. I'm not doing that. I'm not telling him sit, down, heel, place. I'm not trying to physically drain him and do those things. And so for me, he does everything that the owners wish he was doing with them. But he won't be able to do it for them until they change their behavior. They start to work on themselves. And this starts with how they think and feel. Okay? I'm going to end there, and let me know if you have any questions, comments?